Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining us. My name is Denice Valles. I'm a business development director for Rodan and Fields, and so excited to be here with you this evening. I live out in Dallas, Texas. Work right from my home and been with the company for a little, right about 4 years now. I absolutely love working for this company, and I would say my favorite thing about it is by far our community. But of course, we have so many things that set us apart, and I can't wait for you to hear about some of those tonight from our consultants. But let's go ahead and get started here. So we've been in business now for over 10 years, and we were founded by Dr. Katie Rodan and Dr. Kathy Fields. Now, if you don't know them by their name, you'll likely know them from a company called Proactive. They were the founders of Proactive. They actually attended the Stanford University School of Medicine together. They became dermatologists and they started Proactive. Now, in their practice, what they saw, although acne accounts for over 80% of people that it affects, they did see some other common skincare concerns. And so they took that back to Proactive and thought, hey, why don't we move into a few of these other concerns, right? We think it could be quite successful. Proactive didn't really want to do that. So long story short, they sold Proactive and they founded Rodan and Fields. Now, when Rodan and Fields first got started, they started in high-end department stores. So think Neiman, Saks, those type of stores. And although they had a lot of success with their products, during that particular time, what they started noticing is that retail was starting to slow down and that this little thing called social media was starting to come on the scenes. Now, what they did is they looked and seen like, how are our customers coming to the counter? And what they saw was it had nothing to do with all the advertising. It had everything to do with being referred. So that, coupled with that stuff that was going on with social media, got them thinking, what could we do a little bit differently? They saw an opportunity to engage with their product lovers and partner with them as entrepreneurs and move into the direct sales channel. So that's where we are today. We know that growing a business is not easy. Our doctors can attest to that after growing two very successful businesses. So they knew in order to do this, that it had to be a disruptive yet modern business model. It had to inspire confidence and collaboration and personal development, and it had to be fulfilling, and it absolutely had to be powerful. We also knew that you needed to be able to step right into this business, right? Without any significant investment, without inventory or operating costs. And that is exactly what they created. Now, we've celebrated many accolades here at Rodan and Fields, and I'll share just a few with you. We've been the fastest growing for a number of years running, the #1 premium skincare brand, #1 in several categories. I won't go into all of it, just know many, many accolades. We're currently in the US, Canada, and Australia, and we just entered into Japan. Now, Japan, this is so exciting because it's the #2 skincare market in the world. Currently, we only touch less than 18% of the globe, but I know our goal is world domination, and going into those Asian markets will absolutely help with that. They represent 51% of all skincare sales around the world. Very incredible. The skincare market is something that is going to continue to grow, not only in the US, but everywhere. Now, I love to share this statistic. I actually think it's probably a lot higher than what it was when I got the statistic, but 40% of US workers are part of the gig economy. What that means is that many people, over 40%, are out there doing a side gig of some sort to bring in additional income. Now, we know our doctors created a very successful brand before Rodan and Fields and another billion-dollar brand with Rodan and Fields. You know, only 32% of folks out there that you ask about Rodan and Fields will have ever even heard of it. So you ask 10, 7, never even heard of it. Now, this is when you ask them if they know what Rodan and Fields is. Unsolicited, not saying Rodan and Fields' name. If you just ask them, tell me about a few skincare companies, right? Rodan and Fields will likely never come up, yet we are the #1 premium brand. What that means is that creates a big opportunity to get in the hands of friends and family. And we know that once we have them on our products, because they're so incredible, that they will stick and that they will stay. We also feel like we're just getting started. We have new global markets, new skincare categories, and all kinds of innovative products on the horizon. And we're so excited about this. I will tell you, one of the things I said at the beginning that is my favorite thing about Rodan and Fields is our community. It's like no other. It's something very special to be a part of. You'll hear about that from our consultants tonight. It's difficult to explain without being a part of it, but it's such an amazing culture. Have you heard the term life-changing skincare? So this was something when I first started 4 years ago, I thought, what does that mean, right? And I will tell you, I know who can explain it the very best to you, and that's our consultants. It's impacted their life on such an amazing level and so many of their customers as well. So up next, you're gonna hear from 3 of our consultants here at Rodan and Fields. You're gonna hear from Nakia, you're gonna hear from Kirsten, and you're gonna hear from Karen. So ladies, let's go ahead and take it away.
Hi, everybody. My name is Karen May Hernandez, and I am based here in Southern California. I am a mom of 2. I have a 9-year-old daughter and a 6-year-old son, and I have been married to my husband for almost 10 years this year. With Rodan and Fields, I just recently celebrated my 7 years with the company just in June. So super excited to celebrate that new milestone. But before Rodan and Fields, I was actually working as an MRI technologist for research at one of the most prestigious hospitals here in Southern California. And Monday through Friday, I was driving that famous 405 Los Angeles freeway every day. I was working weekends, holidays. I even had a pager on me, so getting called to scan a patient in the middle of the night because the emergency room needed me. That was my life. And my daughter at the time was only 2 years old. But because my husband and I have jobs that require us to go and work full time, we had to put our daughter in full-time daycare since she was 6 months old. So that alone was already putting a big weight on myself and my husband, and our family dynamic through those years wasn't wasn't the most happiest. It was a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. It led to me personally having, really low moments where I was not the best, So I knew I needed a change, even though I absolutely love what I do at the hospital and helping people with their health journey. It was just that, with the commute, with the full-time working schedule, plus, with my daughter, I knew I needed to make a change in my routine or in my life, because I was actually getting more fearful of the future rather than more excited. So even though my daughter was 2 years old, I was already planning and thinking, what is my life? What is my husband and, our life? What was that going to look like when our daughter goes into kindergarten? So those were those things that I was already planning, and I was already getting scared of because I didn't know what we were going to do. But thankfully, my friend Kristen, she and I were college classmates together in the same radiology program. We were also co-workers at the same hospital. So she was working in the cardiac cath lab and I was working in MRI research. And, we would see each other during our breaks. But I started to see that she picked up this business with Rodan and Fields through her Facebook. I was scrolling one day on social media and I ended up seeing her post, and it caught my attention, but it wasn't that, excited moment for her. I was actually thinking that this was weird and why is she posting this? Did her Facebook get hacked? Those were those things that were running through my mind when I saw this. Because she, like I said, she had an amazing career in the cardiac cath lab, and then for her to post about selling a skincare product, to me, it didn't make sense. So I just scrolled right past by it. But then she ended up talking to me about what she was doing, and she was so excited. She was excited about what this company was doing, the amazing products, the amazing doctors, and then also just the opportunity itself. I mean, she was really sharing with me all the amazing perks and, what this company was doing to help her in her financial situation. And so I looked into it because obviously she was just so excited to share this with me that it kind of just fed into, I need to learn more because my current situation obviously needed a change. I wanted something exciting for my life, for my family, and I was tired of working so much to provide for a family that I was not even seeing. So if I could, work this business and earn an extra stream of income that I could pay for my daughter's daycare expenses or provide more towards our home expenses without me working an extra weekend, an extra holiday, that would change already a lot, for myself and for my family's needs. So I looked into it more and I shared this with my husband, and my excitement was like through the roof, right? I was like so excited to look into this and join. And then when I shared this with my husband actually became my biggest skeptic. He did not want me to do this business. He was telling me, this is going to be too much for you. And just because I was already, stressed out with what I was doing with work and daycare, of course, he didn't want me to add more to my plate. And so even though that I had shared with him, like, look, we could probably just look into this. There's a 60-day money back guarantee. He just still was just very hesitant about the whole opportunity. But I couldn't stop thinking about it. I couldn't stop thinking about the excitement. I couldn't stop thinking that these doctors would never jeopardize their name or their brand to go into something bogus, right? They have amazing products that are already working for a lot of people. And back then, 7 years ago, we were only in the United States. So I was just excited to see where would this be. My daughter was only 2 years old and she's not going to start kindergarten until 5. What would that look like, in the next 3 years? And if I say yes now, what would my future look like, right? So I was just actually getting excited now versus getting scared. So I ended up looking into it and I tried a mini facial that my friend Kristen gave me, and I have never truly, like all the products that I've used, this mini facial made my skin instantly feel so much smoother. And I actually told my husband to feel my face after I washed it. And he was so surprised because I never let anybody touch my face just because I break out so easily. But I was just so blown away that my face felt like this after the first use. And so when I decided to put two and two together, that we have incredible products that obviously I felt immediately, changed my skin and my texture just after the first use. And then hearing about this amazing opportunity that was available, I said yes. I said, there is no reason for me to just not explore this opportunity and see what it could do. So thank goodness I did. And you guys, I have loved it ever since. When I said yes 7 years ago until 7 years later, I have seen so much change within the company, the products, the countries that we've opened up into. And what got me really excited too is just seeing the type of people joining in this company. So much support, so much amazing, like this community of people that are always willing to help you is just outstanding. And I would say yes, over and over again, if this opportunity with Rodan and Fields was approached to me, it's just that good. It's just that good. So, overall, I am, just so thrilled to still continue on to be on this journey. But that's just my, piece of this Rodan and Fields, opportunity. But I would love for you now to hear from my friend Kirsten, who is so incredible. And I'm so excited for you all to hear her journey and her story. So thank you again, Denice, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Thanks so much, Karen. Hey everyone, I'm Kirsten Esquivel from Lake Stevens, Washington, and I am so excited to be here with you today. A little background on me. I have a master's degree in family and human development from Arizona State University. I have a wonderful husband named Freddie, and I also have two beautiful daughters who are 8 and 5 years old. I've been with Rodan & Fields for just over a year now, and I have loved every single minute of it. I initially got started in this channel because of the flexibility that it provided. At the time, my husband was in the military and had a really unpredictable schedule and was working all the time. Now he's a firefighter, and so his schedule is just as crazy as it was before. So being able to provide my children with consistency and reliability in one of their parents was a big motivator for me. I grew up with parents who were very successful in their jobs. They worked a lot, and unfortunately, they had to miss some things. And growing up, I always knew that I never wanted to miss anything. Even the little things I did not want to miss for my children. And I needed to find something that was going to allow me to be as successful, if not more, than my parents, but allow me to be home and be there for my kids so I never had to tell them that I couldn't take another day off. So I knew that Rodan & Fields was the right business for me and my family because it was something that I could grow up with instead of growing out of. At the time, I was almost 30 and I knew that I needed to start taking care of my skin and really prioritizing me. And I realized that Rodan & Fields was a company and a business that I could stand behind and grow up with. I could do it until the day I die if I want to. And for me, that really made it a great fit for me, for my family. At first, I was definitely a little worried. I had some fear of failure and just didn't think I was going to be super successful. But once the business plan was presented to me, I felt so much more confident and excited to say yes. And then once I got in, I knew that if I followed the training provided by Rodan & Fields as well as my team, that I was going to see some success and I was going to make it. I started seeing success within the first couple weeks of my business, and within the first few months, my confidence in being a business owner and a leader was through the roof. I felt more in control of my life and my income than ever before. And right now, this business opportunity, you guys, is better than ever with our new consultant bonus program. Sometimes people ask me kind of what surprised me most about Rodan & Fields. And I would say a big one is the brand loyalty as well as success I had personally with the skincare. That blew me away. I would also say how quickly my business started to grow. I was actually able to achieve our new consultant bonus program, and that made me believe in myself even more. I was also pleasantly surprised by the community. The leaders and other teammates that have come before me quickly linked arms with me, and they were there supporting me every step of the way. I think the best part of my journey so far has been being able to see my team and my customer base grow. When they're winning at life or having success with their skin, or maybe they're in love with their lashes, it fills me with so much joy, and I can only explain it to those who experience it. So you gotta jump in. I think the best advice I could give you if you're thinking about joining and you're a new consultant with Rodan & Fields would be to listen to the leaders who've come before you, be coachable, be a go-getter, and be fearless in your business, because after all, it's your business, no one else's. Okay, Nakia, I'm gonna pass it off to you, girl.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be sharing with you guys on virtual today. My name is Nakia Mohair, and I'm a registered dietitian right outside of the Dallas, Texas area. I've been married to my husband, Trevor, for 8 years, and we have 2 little boys, a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old. So as you can imagine, life is always very busy and very crazy. I've been an RNF consultant for about a year and a half now, which is actually surprising to say the least, because this is something that I never thought I would do. I never thought I would do any type of sales or direct sales. I just didn't want to be that girl. I worried about what people would think about me, all the things that we hear all the time. And so I just never thought this was an opportunity that I would ever explore. I had a coworker who was an RNF consultant, and she would ask me to go to events, and I would always have a reason not to go. until she told me she was having her personal launch event. And so I said, okay, I will go to your launch event. So I went, and I was honestly blown away at the stories of these ladies and the testimonies that they had about the business. And it really, for the first time, it just kind of struck a chord with me, and it just kind of pulled on my heartstrings a little bit. And it just was kind of an eye opener and showing that RNF could really be a vehicle to the change that I was looking for in my life. Because at the time I was a working mom, I was very busy, I was stretched in, I had a crazy schedule, my husband traveled a lot. So, I mean, it was just a chaotic season in life. And I was so kind of desperate for something else that would just help me have more intentional time with my family and my kids. And, for the first time, ever at that launch event, I realized that Rodan and Fields was it. And so I took the biggest leap of faith ever, and I talked to my husband, and I jumped in on the biggest kit without ever really trying the products. I never purchased a regimen. I tried samples at her event, but I literally just felt that this was something that I really wanted to do. And so I jumped in, and here I am a year and a half later, and, absolutely loving why I joined the business. Of course, there's so many reasons and so many ways that RNF has blessed me in my life, but I think the biggest one, of course, has been personal development. And that's one that I don't really think I saw coming, because, I got a lot of that in my corporate job. But, I think the biggest thing I learned starting my own business with Rodan and Fields was that I was not being a very good steward of my time. And that was one of my, reluctancies with joining the business. I did not have time to add something else to my plate. But I realized that I just wasn't being a good steward of my time. I wasn't being very strategic. I wasn't being intentional with my time. And so I really learned in those few months after joining the business how to be strategic with my time, how to be intentional with what I was doing, how to have a plan. And most importantly, I think I learned how to ask for help, because that's something that I really rarely did. And so I learned how to ask for help, and, have people help and assist with the kids or with whatever I needed. And that was so instrumental in my mindset of understanding that, hey, this is possible, even though I'm busy, even though my husband is gone, 3 to 5 days a week, traveling. I realized that if I was really going to be intentional with my time, then it was possible. And you have time for what you make time for. And so I made time, and I was very strategic with how I fit this into my lifestyle. And so I'm just so grateful for this opportunity, because it has really gotten me out of my comfort zone and really challenged me to think outside of the box. And I just don't think I would have been able to think that way if I had not joined this business. So I've learned so much through experience in the business. I learned so much by watching trainings on virtual, by listening to the language of other leaders in our company, by watching other consultants on Instagram, by the leaders on my team, the sideline sisters that I come into contact, with on my team and not on my team, that I've met at conventions and things like that. And so we just have this awesome community of people that I can tap into and learn from. And it has just been, it's just really been life-changing to be able to have such a wealth of knowledge on top of the experience that I've already gained in this business. And I think it's just really empowered me to really grow my business the way that I have. Originally, I would say I was working the business probably about 5 hours a week. Now it's more like maybe 10 or 15 now that I'm growing a team. But, I think growing a team, it's so great because I'm allowed, or not allowed, because now I'm growing a paycheck. But, honestly, the best part of all of this, the learning and the personal development is great, but the community of people that I've come into contact with has really been so awesome as well. So, I thought it would be the paycheck, and the paycheck is great, but it's honestly the community of people who serve and really pour into me every single day. And so I'm so glad that I didn't let fear hold me back. I'm so glad I took that leap of faith and jumped in. And I would tell someone who was looking to join the business to do the same. Trust the process, step out on faith, knowing that it's going to take work on your end, and it's going to take strategy and intentionality on your end, but to trust the process and to trust your journey, and to just have faith that your journey is going to lead you to where your business will have you go. And so just keep the faith, work your faith muscle, and just stay the course is the biggest thing that I would say. So thank you all so much for having me. Back to you, Denice.
Well, there you have it. What did you think? Awesome, right? Thank you so much to our panel of speakers for sharing your stories with us tonight, for your transparency. We greatly appreciate it. Great job, ladies. You know, I believe that the power of choice is the single force that drives our lives. If you were to, let's say, take two decisions that you made way back when and change those decisions and then added some years to it, your life could look very different than what it does today. Wouldn't you agree? Of course. I think about our consultants. Not some are just so brand new to Rodan and Fields, and some have been around for a while, right? And if they were to make a different choice and maybe not choose the route of joining Rodan and Fields, their life would look very different. They wouldn't have those stories to share, that community to be a part of. So I just want to encourage you, if you have been thinking like, how can I add some additional income stream to my family? Or maybe you're thinking like, I would really love to have a like-minded community that's goal-oriented and loving and just really a great community to be a part of. No matter what that is, we want to just encourage you to check out Rodan and Fields. Now, there's a couple of different ways to be a part of Rodan and Fields. You can become a preferred customer. There's some great perks along with that. 10% off, free shipping, gift with purchase when you order a certain amount. It's really fantastic. And we just recently added a referral program. When you refer others, you can get an additional 10% off whenever you are a preferred customer. Or maybe you're looking at this and thinking, you know, that business opportunity is sounding pretty good right about now. I'll tell you about how you can get started here in just a moment on that. Or maybe you're thinking, you know, no thanks, not really for me. But I thought of one of my friends when we were talking about this, or family members. I just want to ask you to please pass that referral along to the person that invited you on tonight. That's how our consultants continue to build their business as well. Now, if you would like to get started as a consultant, there are 4 different kits available for you to partake in. So we have our Ultimate Kit that is loaded with products, everything you could imagine, best discount, a fantastic kit. We have our Core Kit, same thing, great discount, tons of products in there. And then we have 2 other kits. Talk to the person that brought you. I won't go through all of those details just in an effort to save a little bit of time, but talk to them about the one that makes the absolute most sense for you. And just wanted to say thanks again for joining us tonight. And hopefully we see you as a brand new consultant soon. Thanks. Bye.